Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Digital Edge.
Great to be here. Today we're looking at GCash.
Yes, the Philippines' biggest finance super app. It's a huge story.
It really is. And we've got some interesting material on, how it grew so fast, the tech behind it, its impact,
Yeah.
and the leadership involved.
Okay, let's get into it. GCash is massive now, but it started small, right? Back in 2004.
Yeah, that's right. Launched by Globe Telecom,
Yeah.
and it was just SMS-based back then. Simple text messages.
Wild. And growth was, well, it was steady, but getting people off cash was the real hurdle, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Cash was king for a long time. It took something major to shift that habit.
And that major thing was, unfortunately, the pandemic.
COVID-19 hit, and boom, GCash transactions just exploded. We're talking a 900% jump compared to 2019.
900%. That's staggering.
It really was. People needed safe, contactless ways to manage money. Suddenly, GCash wasn't just nice to have, it was essential.
I remember reading that active users in just 1 week in June 2020 beat the entire month of April that year.
Exactly. That shows the speed. It just took off. Became the #1 finance app, Android, iOS, everything.
And the user numbers kept climbing. What was it, 94 million by the end of 2024?
Yeah, up from 66 million just a couple years before in 2022, plus supporting, over 6 million merchants now? It's a whole ecosystem.
And behind this, it's a partnership, right? Globe, Ayala, and Ant Group.
Correct. A powerful combination. Globe's users, Ayala's business reach, and Ant's fintech expertise.
Now, leading through that kind of explosive growth, that takes skill. Let's talk about Martha Cezanne.
Right. She became CEO of Mint, the operator, in June 2020. Talk about stepping into the fire.
Right in the middle of it all. And sources say her big focus was the customer.
Totally. Making GCash a lifeline, not just an app. And she's been recognized for it Fortune's Most Powerful Women Asia list, CEO of the Year.
Quite the track record. Her background's pretty diverse too, isn't it?
Yeah, over 20 years across different sectors. Probably helped her navigate that chaos.
Okay, so growth like that, it must have strained their systems. Big time.
Oh, absolutely. Their original database setup, even being on the public cloud, just couldn't keep up.
Peak times, promotions, things started to creak.
Yeah, data ballooned from terabytes to petabytes. Just adding more servers wasn't cutting it anymore. Too expensive, too complex.
So they needed a different approach.
Exactly. They partnered with OceanBase. It's a distributed database solution built for scale, basically.
And how did they switch over? That sounds risky for a finance app.
They were smart about it. Used a dual-run strategy, ran the old and new systems together for a bit.
Ah, clever. So zero downtime for users.
Zero downtime. Impressive, right?
Yeah.
And the benefits were huge. 70% less data storage needed, 40% lower database costs.
Wow. And fewer actual database systems to manage too.
Around 80% fewer, yeah. Much simpler. And, crucially, the new system handles millions of transactions per second. Super stable.
Which also paves the way for cooler stuff, like AI fraud detection.
Precisely. And better real-time insights for users.
Okay, so the tech rescue was key. But the real story, maybe, is the impact on people. Financial inclusion.
Definitely. GCash becoming the first Filipino $5 billion unicorn is one thing, but helping lift the bank population from, 29% pre-pandemic to 65% in 2022? That's huge.
And features like GSave making it easy to open accounts.
And G-Funds for investing small amounts. Ginsure for insurance access. Fuse lending getting loans out, especially outside the main cities, and to women. It's reaching underserved groups.
But it's not all smooth sailing, is it? I saw a study about Sari stores, those small neighborhood shops.
Right. Awareness is there, willingness too, but challenges remain. Security is the big one for those owners, understandably.
Worries about information safety, unauthorized access.
Yeah. The study recommended things like multi-factor authentication, better fraud detection building. That trust is key.
And customer awareness was another point. If customers don't use it, the stores can't either.
Exactly. Plus, tech issues in some areas, spotty internet, basic phones. Maybe offline options could help there.
Good point. And things like transaction costs and clear regulations were also mentioned.
It shows that even with massive success, there's always more work to do on the ground, especially with small businesses.
We should also remember GCash wasn't the very first player, right?
No, Smart Money launched even earlier, back in 2001. Also SMS-based initially. The Philippines was actually an early pioneer in mobile money globally.
Because mobile phone usage was already high.
Yep, and people were comfortable with SMS. The central bank, BSP, also played a key role, allowing non-banks in. using a test-and-learn approach to rules.
Which really fostered innovation, though there were early hurdles with agent registration, things like that.
Sure, those processes evolved, but it laid the groundwork.
So looking back, the GCash journey is really about adaptability.
I think so. Adapting to challenges, embracing tech shifts, and crucially, focusing on community needs.
From basic SMS through that pandemic surge, fixing the tech, it's quite a story.
And that focus on financial inclusion really shows the potential of fintech to make a difference.
It definitely highlights how vital things like security, user education, and solid infrastructure are for these systems to really take hold, not just in the Philippines, but everywhere.
A great example of the constant change and innovation needed in fintech today.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up our look at the incredible story of GCash. Thanks for tuning in to The Digital Edge.
See you next time.